The most hated Premier League player by the players. Think about that for a second. We aren't talking about a striker who scores too many goals or a defender who is too good to beat. We are talking about a man who makes professional world-class athletes lose their minds with a single smirk. Marc Cucurella isn't just a left-back, he is a psychological glitch in the matrix of English football. January 31st, 2026, Stamford Bridge. Chelsea has just completed a miraculous 3-2 comeback against West Ham, but the cameras aren't on the goal scorers, they're on the touchline, where Adama Traore, a man with muscles on top of muscles, has finally snapped. He doesn't just tackle Cucurella, he grabs him by the neck and launches him off the pitch like he's a piece of trash. Why? Because for 90 minutes, Cucurella didn't just defend, he annoyed. He poked, he prodded, he celebrated every throw-in like a World Cup win, and he whispered things in Traore's ear that made the strongest man in football turn into a WWE wrestler. This isn't an isolated incident. This is the Marc Cucurella experience. From the hair-pulling brawls to the Haaland songs that went global, today we are uncovering the truth about why Marc Cucurella is the ultimate villain of the Premier League. Let's break down the most recent headline. The West Ham brawl was ugly. It ended with Jean-Claire Todibo literally strangling João Pedro and getting a straight red card. But the spark that lit the fuse was Marc Cucurella. Throughout the game, Adama Traore was being hounded. Every time he tried to accelerate, there was a head of curly hair and a stray leg tripping him up. But it was the gamesmanship in stoppage time that did it. Cucurella went down easy, stayed down to bleed the clock, and when he got up, he gave Traore that signature "who me" look. Traore didn't wait for the referee. He used his 200-pound frame to physically remove Cucurella from the field of play. It was a WWE-style move that went viral instantly. The fans didn't boo Traore, they cheered. They felt like Traore was doing what every player in the league has wanted to do for 3 years.
If there's one player in the Premier I'd love to slap, it's him.
Why though? People, right, so people have this issue with Cucurella, and like he's one of those players that you absolutely love if he plays for your team.
He's a cheat.
Why is he? He's one of the best left backs in the league, Al.
He's a cheat.
He's one of the best left backs in the league.
I didn't say he is no.
Why is he a cheat?
Because he goes down as if he's
bit
shot
housery.
3 times every time.
Bit of housery, Al. Bit of housery.
No. That's cheating the fans. That's cheating the opposition.
Would it be a forehand or backhand just or?
It'd be a backhand.
Ooh, wow.
There was a massive fight at the... Jeez! There was a huge fight at the... Gosh! There was a massive fight at the end of the Chelsea-West Ham game. Let's break down what happened. And before we get into it, quick backstory so you understand the tension. Chelsea were losing 2-0. They come back 3-2 in the 92nd minute. This was around the 93rd minute, so West Ham were pretty mad. One of the last plays of the game, Cucurella jumps on the ball. Referee calls nothing. Adama didn't like that, so what does he do? Just absolutely ragdolls Cucurella. Now, here's the craziest part of it all. João Pedro didn't like what Adama did, so what does he do? Push Adama Traore, and then... João Pedro, what have you done? Do you just know who you pushed? Você é maluco. You are crazy, bro. What do you do when this thing comes running at you? What do you do when this thing comes running at you? And he tries to hold his ground as long as possible, but when you see a truck like that coming at you, you got to get out the way. Ole! And then WWE UFC begins. Some action happens with João Pedro and Todibo. A red card comes from that. We have a better angle of that soon. But look at Cucurella recovering from the Hulk smash. He's like, what just happened to me? And here's where the red card comes in, because the West Ham players didn't like Pedro going after Traore like that. And Todibo, let me get a better angle of this. Todibo grabs Pedro by the neck, and he's smiling too, bro. This guy.
Cucurella has this unique ability to make even the most professional players want to risk a 5-match ban just to shut him up. If you want to know why the players hate him, look no further than Erling Haaland. Summer 2024. Spain wins the Euros. Cucurella is drunk on a table singing "Cucurella eats paella, Cucurella drinks Estrella." Haaland trembles because Cucurella is coming. Now, for a fan, it's a funny song. For a player like Haaland, the most clinical striker on earth, it was a declaration of war. Haaland didn't forget. In the opening game of the following season, Haaland didn't just score against Chelsea, he intentionally sought out Cucurella to physically dominate him. He walked through him. When Cucurella went down with cramp later in that game, Haaland walked past him like he was a piece of gum on the sidewalk. Haaland's post-match quote was legendary. "He is a funny man. Last season he asked for my shirt, and this summer he sings a song about me." The disrespect was mutual. Cucurella later said he'd do it again. That's the thing. He doesn't care about the unwritten rules of player respect. He wants the smoke. It's not just the Premier League. Marc Cucurella is a global villain. Ask anyone in Germany. After his unpunished handball in the Euro 2024 quarter-finals, he was booed by 60,000 people every time he touched the ball for the rest of the tournament. Did it bother him? No, he thrived. He made a joke out of it, saying, "They changed the rules because of me." Then there was Kylian Mbappe. In the semi-finals, Cucurella treated Mbappe like he was a Sunday League winger. He didn't just mark him, he got into his face, he celebrated every tackle, and he made the world's best player look human. Mbappe was visibly rattled. By the time the final whistle blew, the French star didn't even want to look at him. Cucurella has a way of making superstars feel small, and they hate him for it. Let's talk about the hair. It's the biggest target in football. In December 2024, Southampton captain Jack Steppens was so frustrated by Cucurella's constant nipping that he reached out, grabbed a massive handful of that massive curly hair and yanked him to the ground. Red card, violent conduct, but Steppens' face looked like he'd just won the lottery. He didn't care about the red card, he just wanted to hurt the man who had been annoying him for 40 minutes. We saw it before with Christian Romero. Why is hair pulling a Cucurella special? Because defenders get so tired of his dark arts, the diving, the shirt tugging, the whispering, that they revert to schoolyard bullying. He lures you into a red card. He is a tactical trap. If you touch his hair, he wins. And yet, players keep doing it because he is simply that infuriating. Perhaps the most Cucurella moment of all time happened against Brentford. Chelsea won 2-1. The whistle blew. The game was over. But Marc Cucurella wasn't finished. He got into a heated exchange with Kevin Shade. The referee, who had seen enough of his antics during the match, showed him a second yellow card after the game was over. The official reason? Adopting an aggressive attitude. Think about the skill required to get sent off while the fans are already heading for the exits. Thomas Frank, the Brentford manager, called him out afterward, saying he respects his talent but doesn't like it when players clutch their face. That's the consensus among managers. They respect the skill, but they despise the theatre. He is the master of the face clutch. He's the king of the phantom foul. And in a league that prides itself on toughness, he is the ultimate cheat. So, is Marc Cucurella actually a bad guy? Or is he the hero Chelsea needs in a league full of nice players? He's a man who turned a £62 million price tag into a badge of honour. He's a man who made Haaland tremble and Mbappe frustrated. He's a man who forced the strongest player in the league to throw him like a toy. He is the ultimate wind-up merchant, the psychological terrorist of the Premier League, and honestly, the league would be boring without him. But I want to hear from you. Was Adama Traore right? Is the hair-pulling justified? And who is the most annoying player in your team's history? Drop a comment below, and if you think Cucurella is actually world-class, let's have it out in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell. This is Fudging Football, and we'll see you in the next meltdown.